Okay, but you can't insert pivot tables when the data is this in the when your table has subtotals. I need to use the original um, table to add my pivot table. I just click wherever on my table, I go to insert, and then I go to these recommended pivot tables. When I go here, Excel gives me different options. It actually shows me how I can summarize my data. For example, this one is sum of sales by region. This is sum of units by region, and this one is sum of sales by color. This is what we did with the subtotal, right? Um, so uh, I just choose this first one, sum of sales by region, and say okay. And then after you do this, Excel opens a new sheet and then shows the summary of the data that you chose. Right here, you see this pivot table analyze. I can go here and change the pivot table name. For example, I would say sum of sales by region, right? I can use a name like this. And every time you click on the pivot table, you can see this pane on the right-hand side. You have filters, columns, values, and rows. And you can add each of them to this table. For example, if I pick color, I just drag it into filter, then Excel will add this color filter to my pivot table. You can go here, and then let's say that I only want to see the blue color. So what I'm seeing is that I'm seeing sum of sales for each of regions only for the blue color, right? Again, I deselect this because I want to see all my data. What else I can do? I can, for example, add date to row. And what happens is that now I can see how much we have sold in February. I can expand this and see the actual data as well. It's cool, right? So you can do a lot of things using your pivot table. You can also, again, you can explore, and depending on what type of data you're trying to analyze, you can use each of these values. One other thing that you can do is that you can go, if every time you click on each of these fields, you can go to this field setting, and then you can change the number format. For example, if you want to, for now, I don't want to change this month format. This is okay. But let's say it's another number. You can go here and then change the number format, or you can change the custom name, right? You have a couple of tools under this pivot table analyze as well. For example, you can go to this fields, items, and set, and you can create a calculated field. It's kind of similar to Builder in Access. Let's say that what we want to do, these are our fields, right? We have date, color, region, unit, sales, and month. And then we don't have a good one to do a calculation, but let's say that we want to have a monthly sales. This is not correct, but I cannot think of anything right now, but I just want to show you how it works. So I go to the sales, and then when I double click, it's added to my formula, and then I just multiply it by, so I divide it by 12, let's say. And then I say, okay, and there you go. This is a new field that I have added here, and it was added to my values. Again, I can go to value settings, and I can change the number format, for example, or you have this show value as 2, and then you can show each of them as percentage of the grand total. For example, now it's showing me the percentage, right? Other things that you can do is that you can insert a slicer, and as its name implies, we can show a slice of this table. For example, let's say that we only want to see regions and sale, and then it creates a slice of each of these fields. We can also go here and then change the color of each of these slides. We can change the height or width of each of them, with them make them look better, right? So you see that how this is helping us for data visualization. And finally, um, one of the other things that you can do with this pivot tables is that you can add a pivot chart. So again, it depends on what type of data you have. How do you want to read this data? Do you want to visualize it? But one of the easiest one is this cluster column. And then if I hit OK, you will see that Excel adds this pivot chart to this worksheet. I have some of sales and then some of monthly sales. I have all the information that I have here using the, let me move it so you can see that how it's reflecting the same table here. And I have sales per month, by month for each of these regions. That's how we visualize this data here. So now it's easier to read, right? Or we can go here and we can, let's say this one. And you see, as I filter this chart, not only this pivot table gets updated, my chart gets updated as well. And that's how it works. I mean, whatever data you will choose, whether in your pivot table or in this pivot chart, it will be reflected to either in either of them.